One thing most people know about court cases is that they take a long time. You issue a claim now, it's probably going to come to court in 18 months or 2 years perhaps. But injunctions are much, much quicker to be heard. An injunction is a court order where the court tells somebody to do something or not to do something as an interim injunction pending trial until an actual decision is made. And they can be very powerful weapons. They can pretty much actually sometimes decide the whole case. For example, in a non-compete claim, where an employer is trying to stop an employee competing perhaps just for 3 months or 6 months, getting an interim injunction can be effectively the end of the case. Injunctions take a lot of time to put together, but can be done very quickly. I once got an injunction within 90 minutes from being asked to get it to actually serving it by telephone on the solicitor on the other side. That's not usually how quickly it happens. It usually takes at least a few days, but the court can move very quickly when necessary. Injunctions are always something to think about very carefully. There are potentially cost consequences and other consequences of your case if you get it wrong, but in the right cases, they can be hugely powerful. Sometimes they're essential. In particular, for example, an injunction, what's called a freezing injunction, to freeze somebody's assets. There's no point suing somebody if by the time you get to trial, they've hidden all their money and put it in offshore accounts and so on. Whereas if right at the beginning, you can freeze their bank account or stop them selling a property so that it's still there when you get a judgment against them, that is very powerful in itself. You can also get, for example, search orders, or more commonly now, imaging orders. We often find this as an issue in confidentiality cases, or in a case I had recently where an employee was writing poison pen letters to various ex-clients, ex-customers and so on. You can get an order from the court that entitles you to turn up at their door and literally image their computer to preserve the evidence on it for a court hearing to be held down the line. Now, if the person who's been doing it knows that you've got an image of their computer and they know what's on their computer and what's going to be found on it, that is going to tend to settle the case sooner rather than later. So injunctions can be a very powerful weapon when used correctly.